Welcome to a new episode of Outside the Panels with your host, Johnny the Machine Hughes.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Outside the Panels. I'm your host, Johnny the Machine Hughes, and joining me this time around is my favorite type of guest. It is the returning guest. This time it's James Aquilone.
Right.
James, how's it going, man?
It's going great, man.
Excellent. Back again for round two.
That's right.
Excellent. What are we talking about today then, my friend?
We are talking about the Omega 11 Kickstarter.
Okay, cool.
Monstrous number 2. So we really have two comics, basically.
A twofer? Oh, dear. All right, so Omega 11. This is on a Kickstarter live, correct?
It is live, yes.
Yeah, as we are recording, as of today, it is fully funded. You must be over the moon about that. Let's have a quick look at that for you. So you wanted 4,000. You are now on $8,552.
That's right.
That's an impressive amount, my friend. Impressive indeed.
It doesn't look as good in pounds, though, right?
Well, yeah, the exchange rate and all that. Nothing looks great in pounds. The screen's gone blank, and the reason we're going to do that, we're going to have a look at the trailer on your Kickstarter. Here we go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, what have we got? A bumbling time traveler, Camelot, and the Philosopher's Stone. That sounds like a heady brew. This seems like a Doctor Who episode on something, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's like Doctor Who meets Ocean's 11 meets Rick and Morty.
Oh, okay. Rick and Morty, which is really Back to the Future. So, yeah.
Basically, yeah, everything's connected.
Don't tell anybody, but it's
yeah, it's like Rick, but it's like Back to the Future, like on crack, you know?
Yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that, definitely. So what is it that made you want to sort of to have a poke at time travel and unmake it, essentially?
I mean, I've always loved time travel. I'm always probably going back to, well, not only, before Back to the Future, it was, if you know, a movie called Time Bandits.
Mm-hmm.
Probably bigger in the UK than it was.
Terry Gilliam.
An early movie on his, which was a bunch of little people who were traveling in time and stealing like all kinds of famous objects and stuff. So I love that movie as a kid.
Bill and Ted. Don't forget Bill and Ted.
I mean, there's so many. One thing too we realized was so many of these time travel movies had duos. You know, it was like usually two people. You know, just like Rick and Morty, and we have Marty McFly and Doc Brown and Bill and Ted. So it usually was two people. So that's why we kind of came together with we hooked up Dr. Omega with the Artful Dodger in this.
Good call. So you're taking the literary cues from all over the place. Time travel. The trailer says it's irrelevant. So does that mean that you're not taking yourselves too seriously? You're not worried about paradoxes and trying to explain to us what time travel is. You just go balls to the wall.
No. Yeah, absolutely. This is more like a fun time travel story, and that's the good thing about doing more of a humorous time travel story is that you don't have to worry about explaining time travel or worry.
Well, you say that, but you get some smart ass nerd like me that says, "Wait a minute, if that goes there and that goes there, and then I get a nosebleed, and then that's it."
I don't think you can do a time travel story that doesn't have paradoxes in it. I don't think it would ever work.
Hmm.
You know,
I'll tell you.
Because it's always that question, like, if you go back in time, are you really going back in the same timeline? Did you are you in a different dimension? Would you meet yourself? How does that all work?
I need some painkillers. I need some painkillers. Help me out, please. No painkillers.
Oh.
No. This is the problem. See, I'm quite a straight-laced time traveler kind of guy. I believe very much like quantum leap that time is a piece of string. You put the ends together, and then you'll be able to jump from one piece of time to the other. That's kind of time travel. It's
Right.
linear. I'm a linear kind of thinker. I'm none of this. Well, if you go back and make another decision, then time fragments and gives you another thing, because that just gets messy. It gets Back to the Future Part 2 messy.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And that's a messy movie.
Yeah, Quantum Leap's another one, but he met. I think does he meet himself at one point? I know he does, like, kind of.
I think he jumps into his own family, doesn't he? Just before.
Yeah, and I think there is a time there when he's like a kid and someone with his father. So I never understood how that could work, So then if you exist as two people, then something's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember the scene vividly. He plays because his sister's into the Beatles, and he plays "Imagine" by John Lennon.
Right.
And his sister gets upset, like, John Lennon never wrote that. And
right.
Yeah. Because it's like, he's dropping time clues left, right, and centre. When I think about time travel, I think about not taking it seriously. I've got to be honest, James. I'm thinking DC's Legends of Tomorrow. That show is bonkers. I tried to, somewhat serendipitously, I tried to watch I haven't seen the last 3 or 4 seasons of it because I just lost the will with it. But I watched the final episode this morning. And I was like, I have no idea what's going on. So, I mean, is time travel then for you more of a kind of Deus Ex Machina to get you from place to base, to kind of like throw these characters together, and is it the interaction between the characters that then drive the story forward?
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to worry too much about the logic of it, because that'll just drive you crazy, and you can't really, like, unwind that, because and just want to have fun, really. And then, I mean, the fun of the time travel story is just to be able to go, totally different times and eras, and meet all these different characters. And then, if you try to worry about it making sense, then you can take a lot of the fun out of it.
So that's what's went wrong with Avengers Endgame. Got it.
Right.
Johnny just didn't diss Avengers. Yes, I did.
No logic out the window.
Oh man, honestly, I don't even want to get started on that. Unbelievable. Let's have a look at some of the art from the book. Then you were kind enough to send some pages over. We are going to show some. We're not going to show a shed load because 1, I don't have a shed load. 2, I want you to go and pledge for the book. Simple as. It's not hard. Not hard when you think about it from that point of view. Let me just get this. This is page 1. I'm going to have a look at. Interesting kind of layout that you've got there with the kind of is this a full bleed page and it's just the background as it is? Yeah. Cool. I like that. So you kind of, how was it working with your artist, Zac? I'm sorry, I've forgotten his surname.
Atkinson.
Yeah, there you go. Because when you talk about time travel, people, as we've just discovered over the last 10 minutes or so, people have a very particular approach. So, as we mentioned, some people are linear, some people are multiversal. So how was it kind of speaking to Zac about what you saw as time travel?
Well, this was actually Zach's idea. Zach came to me with the idea.
Zach.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know where Zach
it's it's a Stan Kirby, it's a Stanley Jack Kirby thing. Oh my god.
No, well, I'm not going to take any credit though. You know.
Okay. All right. Maybe it's not then. Okay. All right. So fill us in then. What was the premises of as a time travel heist type of thing? How did you then fit your views of time travel in with Zach? If Zach came up with the idea then.
Well, Zach had the idea basically for the Dr. Omega story, where Dr. Omega would be a time traveler, and he'd want to pull off a heist, and then he would want to get all these other like public domain characters together to pull off the heist. But that was about it. And he had illustrations for the characters, but he had no story. So I came in to kind of create a story, and to kind of flesh out the characters, and then to make sense of all of it, and to flesh out the characters too, and add new ones.
Okay.
So yeah,
to connect the dots a little bit.
Yeah,
it's good. And then throw in some extra curveballs along the way.
Yeah, basically, and then hackier and crazier than it could have been.
So then I'm intrigued because how did Zach respond to the ideas that you're throwing around? If he's got this idea of a story and it might sound bare bones, then you then come in and say, but this, but that, let's add this. How do you kind of react to that? Is he like, oh my god, this is brilliant, or is he kind of like, how's that kind of work?
Yeah, no, it was we were just throwing around ideas for a while, and then working on it really together, and he was cool with all of my ideas, but he had a lot of ideas too. So it was just a lot of like, what about this character? What about that character? What if they do this? And then we kind of whittle it down to what made sense, and well, I mean, truthfully, it was just like it was a pretty long process, and it was getting like a little crazy with like all the characters. That's why we came up with like the Omega 11, because it could have been like the Omega 50, with all. So hopefully the series goes on, and we can bring in all the other characters. So we're also thinking, it's also in the vein of like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, about the team and team together, and that series, which has gone on, and Alan Moore has brought in more and more characters. So we would love to do that. But working with Zach has been great, and it's been very easy because I think we think along the same lines. We like the same movies and stuff. So there really wasn't any like kind of push and pull as far as coming up with ideas together.
Cool. So as a writer then, James, do you find that you act as some sort of kind of pseudo editor in that you kind of keep control the pace of what's going on? You go feedback with kind of what you want to see on the page from the art point of view. I mean, the art looks great. We saw on the trailer there, he's a digital artist. He's doing it on computer screen, which I think is huge. I've tried that and I just can't do it. I'm a pen and paper kind of guy. I can't get past that. So what do I know?
No, the art looks great, and yeah, I mean, it was really about trying to just trying to make sense of it all, because we had so many ideas and there were so many characters, and and then Zach's always throwing more ideas at me too. So then it's like, how we try to fit this in or that. So it's a huge world, and it's a lot of characters, and it was supposed to be, I think, like a 3-issue series. Now it's like a 5-issue series.
Cool. Oh man, that. As a writer, what type of writer are you? Are you Marvel style, where you kind of go bare bones? Potentially, when you're working with Zach, who's part of the whole like the plotting kind of ideas as well, or are you full script and then how's that work? Because I'm looking at the page design. The first page design is different to this one. This one's starts off, it looks like a traditional 4-panel page, but then you throw in little bits there just to keep us visually off guard a little bit. Is that you, or is that Zach that's kind of messing with my eye?
Well, I do a full script, but with this one, I do leave a little more to the artist, so I don't really deal with descriptions with this one, because then I just leave that up to Zach. So I'm not too much as far as like what it should look like. So if I just say, talk about a character, I just say do what you want, or it's a spaceship or something like that, and I won't bother as far as really coming up with an idea for that character or that that prop or whatever.
Well, unless of course it's a massive plot point that you need.
Yeah, unless I need it, but otherwise it's just like if you handle and which is nice too, because then I don't have to worry about it. but this one has been more of a collaboration than I'm used to doing, so it was then I can just say, all right, Zach, you fill in the gaps here. But I wanted him to kind of come up with definitely most of the designs and stuff. I think with the giant that's in there, that was probably the only character in the first few pages where I said, okay, I have an idea for his look. But other than that, yeah, I don't worry about like Zach came up with the whole design for Omega with the scarf and everything like that.
So this is I was going to say Dr. Omega. Dr. Omega?
Yeah, that's
Dr. Omega. He's a time traveler with a long scarf and glasses. Are you sure you haven't been watching too much Doctor Who? I mean, does he travel in a blue box?
Dr. Omega came first, though. That's the thing.
Sorry?
Dr. Omega came first.
Rubbish!
So
Rubbish!
Dr. Who is ripping off Dr. Omega.
No way! No way! When did the Dr. Omega start?
So he came in his first appearance was in a 1906 French novel. He created Dr. Omega, back in the day, and there were illustrations. So a lot of people think that the first Doctor Who came from Dr. Omega because he looked a lot like William Hartnell. And there were a lot of similarities. He had a spaceship too called the Cosmos. And he didn't always try and travel, but he also on crazy adventures and stuff. It was kind of like John Carter of Mars. He goes to Mars, and then there's a lot of crazy adventures that he has. He has companions that he flies around with and stuff. So there are some similarities, and they in the last few years they started doing these new Dr. Omega novels, and they kind of put him in with Doctor Who. So I think they've tried to put him into the Doctor Who story.
Oh, okay.
To legitimize him. So he has been he is kind of connected with Doctor Who now, kind of almost semi-officially.
Okay, that's impressive. I did not know that. Every day is a school day.
Yeah, he's not well known at all because I don't think they didn't translate the book into English until like maybe 15, 20 years ago.
All right, okay. Cool. Wow, very impressive. Check you out. You should be on the old timers. The history knowledge like that, you'd be a shoo-in for sure. Let's have a look at page 3, which kind of gives us some of the kind of craziness that you're going to get up to. Some of your I'd say pratfalls and your kind of slapstick a little bit. Yeah. Now we're getting the start of the feel of the book. I love the textured background. That's impressive. I like that. Normally, if I see a book that has like a lack of detail in the background, it's just one flat color.
Right.
And you're kind of like, well, that's got some texture to it. I like that.
Well, Zach's a colorist, though. That's his main thing. The colors are always amazing when with Zach.
Cool, excellent. Lots of, and again, different page panel design on that one. This one's more systematic, as you'd expect it to flow through there. Really, really clever, really nice. I really like this. You've got your slapstick, as I said, at the top. How hard is it to try and make sure that you are covering the elements? If you're doing time travel but not too serious, you're doing funny but not too funny, and then you kind of throw in historical references as well. I mean, that's quite a few plates to shuffle, my friend. You must be like this.
No, it's fun though, and it's that's kind of my thing. So this is very much within my tone of voice. So
cool.
I do I also do a series called Dead Jack, Zombie Detective.
I remember.
which is very similar to this in tone. You know, it's kind of
Cool.
so that's what I'm kind of more comfortable doing. And it's fun for me.
Cool.
So
As time travel is our theme, it appears that we have a guest ready to join us. It is none other than idea man, colorist, artist, Zac Atkinson. Zac, did the cosmos lead you out somewhere? Did the TARDIS drop you off in the wrong place? Did you not
Yeah.
fill up the flux capacity?
I apologize, guys. In my defense, it took me a half hour to find the link. I don't know what I could I looked through it and I finally found it in my spam folder. So I deeply apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. James was just taking all the credit for the book there. Just
As you should. As you should.
I'm jesting. He was very gracious. You're the idea man. This was your idea. This is kind of like, why don't we do something time travel-y, Ocean 11-y, and then
Right. It started out as me wanting to do like a superhero kind of group type of thing with like classic, the classic legends, and I had no way of figuring out how to get them all together, and I kind of discovered Dr. Omega just as I was like researching different characters and whatnot, and noticed he had some attachment or some perceived attachment to Doctor Who, so I thought we kind of had our kind of facsimile Doctor Who pastiche that we can kind of riff on, and that kind of led down. That got the ball rolling for an idea to bring all these different characters from different time periods together.
We were talking earlier about kind of how serious we take time travel stories and how not serious we do. One of the things that bugs me about time travel sometimes is the anachronistic elements that kind of creep in, sort of like, you'll see like a Roman guard wearing a digital watch or something crazy like that. How hard is it, both from a writing point of view and from an artistic point of view, to make sure that the characters that you are borrowing from time stay consistent to themselves whilst in new environments? It will go with Zac first, because we've heard from James already, so might as well.
Well, like with the Artful Dodger, I knew that he always wore like really oversized clothes because he always wanted to be perceived as adult, but he always wore like stuff that was way too big for him. And so I wanted to keep that element and the element that he was like kind of just a scrappy guy still. So so I put him in a tuxedo jacket,
Why
and it
not?
fits and it fits him like a trench coat, and he's got
James
kind of
Bond will be pleased.
yeah, and he's very much like a street level like a thief guy, and so he's got kind of he still wears like messed up jeans with the idea, and he's got tennis shoes now, but the idea is Omega, his clothes gave him like clothes for him from like different periods. So he kind of updated his style from like the more of the early century stuff that he was wearing.
Something a little bit in fashion, but also still harkens back to his
exactly
his street urchin self.
But he still always picks the stuff that's like way too big for him, so it's all rolled up and stuff, and we gave him since his name's Dodger, James wanted him in with the Dodgers cap, like an old school Brooklyn Dodgers cap, and we kind of inadvertently turned him into Short Round, and then and then I gave him the jacket and turned him into Data, which is the same kid that played Short Round, which is funny.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and so I love that because those are like my favorite movies. And then Dr. Omega, I originally had him as an old guy, and James wanted him to make him kind of younger, and I kind of fought back on that, but after I did, I love it. And so all his style is influenced by the original material, where he's got these kind of weird puffs of hair, and of course, he was all balding, so he's losing all that hair. He just has these 3 tufts in the original, but since he's younger, he still has hair, but the tufts are still there and prominent. And his outfit was certainly inspired by Doctor Who, but I wanted
Told
to.
you. I just want to say, James, told you.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a way to sort of give him like kind of more of a iconic spin to him. So that's kind of where the star scarf came from, and
It's hard though, isn't it? When you think how many characters exist nowadays.
yeah,
I drew a superhero team just for my own fun, and I drew an assassin, and I thought, oh, it'd be cool with a leather jacket, and I can't make him look like Deadshot because that's bad karma. I can't make him look like Deathstroke because that's bad karma. By the time I'd finished, I'd drawn the Red Hood.
yeah.
I hate the Red Hood. How did that happen?
Yeah,
So,
it's definitely something we wanted to use certain elements that make them recognizable, but still
cool.
give them enough spin
That's,
so they're
that's
unique.
a good shout. Yeah, that is a good shout, Zach. You want fans of time travel, be it Doctor Who, Back to the Future, Rick and Morty, whichever one.
Right.
You want them to see something reflective in the character, so they get it straight away. That's visual cues. Visual cues are key there. James, how about from a writing point of view? You've got to make sure that Dodger sounds like Dodger, and all the other characters sound like their time period selves. How do you kind of incorporate that? Zach's got the art down, and he's kind of brought Dodger forward a little bit. How do you maintain that from a writing point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Dodger, it was just you do have to kind of get his kind of vocal patterns down and have him sound like a street urchin from the early 19th century. But I just think with those characters, you just kind of like find like the essence of that character and make sure that's there, and then you can either like exaggerate some of their attributes or just kind of like you can like take it into another place. So Dodger is a cool character because he's a pickpocket and thief, and we kind of take that to a little more extreme. So our Dodge is a little more he's a little crazier, he's a little more violent. He's a little unpredictable. So he's quick to start trouble and cause violence. So
cool, excellent. Right, we're going to take a quick break for one of our adverts, one of our other shows. And then when we come back, we're going to have a look at your Kickstarter, see where you are, have a look at some more art and some designs. Is that okay with you guys?
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I've mentioned them already, so we'll talk about this advert. It is the Old Timers Comic Book Show. Check it out.
Do you want to find out what makes the professor do his happy dance? Check out the Old Timers Comic Book Show, only on the UCPN.
Short but sweet. It's the Old Timers Comic Book Show, where the hosts aren't old, but the comics most certainly are. Check it out if you like your books older than 25 years. What more could you want, right? Right, here we are. It is in pounds. We'll put it back to dollars for you guys. As we said earlier, $8,566 pledged against a $4,000 goal. 213 backers. That is a huge, huge amount. Gentlemen, how do you feel with that level of fandom?
Oh, great.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty well.
Well, I mean, don't undersell yourself, guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
No, we want more.
Modest as
Not
well.
satisfied at all.
No, I'm just glad people are interested in it for sure. I think our plan was to make the book anyway, and the more support we get, just the more motivated we get to do a lot more.
We have some characters to look at, so we can have a look at some of the designs that you came up with. You've got Dr. Omega there.
The Doctor.
The Doctor. Yeah, Doctor something. You've got the Dodger there. I can see what you were saying now about short round. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All you got to do is wear it backwards, and that's it. You're sorted. Morgan Le Fay. Why Morgan Le Fay? Out of all the bad guys, sorceresses you can have, why Morgan Le Fay?
I was a big fan of the movie Excalibur.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, I was thinking back to that. Helen Mirren, who was Morgan Le Fay in that, right? So
Keep it clean. I said Helen Mirren, and you weren't thinking next
Yeah.
were you?
I don't know. I guess we could do one of those cheeky comics, right, Zach? With Morgan Le Fay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not suitable for work, Morgan Le Fay.
I made our Morgan Le Fay look kind of weird looking though.
I suppose the name would then be Morgan Le would it not?
There you go.
You guys can have that one. I'll throw you that one. Knock yourselves out. And of course, you can't talk Morgan without having Merlin, who is, you know what, he looks quite traditional there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite like that. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Cosmos, the ship that I don't know. Looks like some sort of cloud. Is this the front? That's the front.
Yeah.
That's its nose cone.
Yeah, the classic looking one was just a very this of course it was like in the 1900s, but was a very like bottle shaped old school retro futuristic look of a rocket ship in the original books, but I kind of wanted to have some element of that, but still make it like a
It's got
little
shades.
crazy. Yeah, thanks.
It's got shades of. Are you ready? A little
Yeah.
bit of Futurama
Oh yeah.
thrown in with
Oh
some
yeah.
Nautilus action.
Oh
There you
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Well, I'm the view from the cheap seats. What do I know? No, very nice. Some preview pages we've looked at. Ooh, jigsaw going on there. We've seen these already. Excellent. Zach, we were talking beforehand about the pacing of the art and the panel design. James was saying that he provides a full script, but you kind of go with page designs and go from there. How hard is it to translate the written word into kind of panels and pace, and how did you decide to break them down from big panels to smaller ones?
James is easier. It hasn't been, at least so far, it hasn't been a very hard to translate his words into pages. I've definitely had jobs where it was a lot more difficult. I basically I'm in my head a lot. A lot of guys just kind of draw it out more and plan it out on paper. Actually, I'm pretty good about planning it out in my head. So I tend to skip a couple steps with my layout page. Kind of
Cool.
get the gist of the idea out and just go. Since I'm digital, I go straight to inking almost immediately after I get kind of a rough layout down. And one thing that's important when I do that is it's digital. If I did it on paper, I wouldn't be able to do that. But like it's digital, so if I don't like something, I can squish it, stretch it, move it around, and do all this stuff. So it's very much a copy paste kind of thing for me rather than
Again, I like how you're underselling yourself. Copy paste my bum. Give it away. You still got to draw the. You've still got to draw the shape on the screen, for Christ's sakes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. But like in Photoshop, if I have one eye that's lopsided or something, I can just scale it to match the other ones. And I'm not trying to undersell myself. It's just like after working in Photoshop for so long, because I've been doing it for like over 20 years. So a lot of the work I've had was just as a colorist, and it's just part of my process now. It's just edit, transform, and move stuff. Like if I draw something and I want the guy's arm to be bigger, I'll just kind of smudge the arm up and
Mm.
make it a little bit bigger and flip it around. It's kind of weird.
You've got various covers. Zach, that's yours. James, was it important that you have variant covers?
Yeah, I mean, the more covers, always the better. And see like a little bit of a variety there. So this is David.
Looking like a true image person. More covers, more covers.
Yeah.
And as a publisher, it's it helps the bottom line to have more
True
covers.
that,
But we don't go crazy with that. I mean, I've seen some campaigns that have 20 or more covers. So we only have we have the 2 variants from other artists, and then Zach did 2 homage covers.
I like that one. I like that one. That one's canny.
Yeah, that's J.K. Woodward.
Yeah, I like that one. Oh dear God. Very clever. Very clever.
Thank you.
Calvin and Hobbes. How could you do that to Calvin and Hobbes? I love Calvin and Hobbes. Son of a. I'm not going to be able to look at that and not see that now.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear God. Dear God. I do like that sticker though. That's cool.
Thank you.
You have another book, Monstrous.
So that's a magazine that I published. So my idea is to include the magazine, an issue of the magazine with every one of my Kickstarters.
Okay, cool.
So this is the second issue. So since we're talking about time travel, we're doing a time travel themed issue.
Okay. Right. Let's see how you can get involved. Where's the Calvin and Hobbes cover? I'll leave that there because I like that one. Boom, boom, boom. Available rewards. Where am I at? Oops. Look at me being all. There we are. All right. So for boom, boom. $6 you get Monstrous magazine. Well done. Digital for $8 you get Omega 11 #1 digital. Why is it important to have digital books for you guys? Is it just because Zach you work in digital, or is there another element to this?
Well, it's easy. I mean, if someone doesn't have the money to buy the print version, because paper's just getting more expensive.
Yeah.
You're at least able to offer something at a lower price point, and you have unlimited copies of it. So if someone I read comic book, like all the manga I read is digital. Like American comics, I tend to buy the print copies. I don't know why my brain does that, but yeah, like I'm a big fan of just reading stuff on my iPad and on my phone. So
see, I'm a traditionalist. I like holding the comic book.
I'm like that with American comics, but like I don't know, like I got a Shonen Jump subscription, so they have like just unlimited. It's only for like a few bucks too, but they have like an unlimited like catalog of just old Japanese comics, and I got kind of addicted to that, But I would never buy them because that would cost me a fortune because there's so much. But
so we were saying, I think James, on your last Kickstarter, that I think a PDF or a digital version is a must if you're looking for overseas edges. Because for me, I don't mind dropping $8, $7 on a Kickstarter. I do mind having to pay $25 to get the damn thing shipped over to me. Right?
Oh yeah.
So as much as I prefer the real deal, if I'm backing a Kickstarter, I am thinking digital because I think that gives you get more of the money, especially if you're subsidizing postage. I don't want you to lose out trying to send me a comic book all the way from there to here and there. Sunny old UK. So no, that's cool. Let's see. Monstrous print for $10. Ships anywhere in the world. And then you've got the Omega 11 print copy. And an autograph card. That's cool. There's the B cover that we talked about, $15. And the autograph card. C covers, $15. Monstrous 1 and 2 for $20. $5 on that already. That's pretty cool, isn't it? $28 for the Rick and Morty. Only 3. I'm surprised by that. I thought more people would go for that. Definitely.
A lot of people are picking them up as add-ons.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. 28 for the Calvin and Hobbes cover as well. Oh, love Calvin and Hobbes. What can I say? I do love Calvin and Hobbes. All right. Classic Monsters Unleashed, Shakespeare Unleashed. Extra books there. $30 for the digital bundle. 32 for Omega 1 and Monstrous 1 and 2. So you're covering the bases for sure.
Yes.
So you know it's clear to see that you've kind of hit a certain vein with readers here in relation to what they're looking for. That must make you feel pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm real happy people like kind of get it. I think that was like one of my worries is like maybe it's too out there, too in the woods for people to really.
You think?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Like it's to me it's a little bit. It's I was wondering if it was too. I don't know. Kind of you're dealing with a lot of public domain characters. You know, he's going around
Okay.
getting a bunch of different guys, and I didn't know if it was too much. And
Bear in mind, Bill and Ted. You know?
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bill and Ted was like definitely in my brain for sure.
Cool, excellent. James, how's that feel? Because I mean, you're Kickstarter pro now, aren't you? To be fair, you're a bit of a Kickstarter expert. How's it feel to continue to gain that level of response from people?
That's great because this is also something different that I've done. I've done this is my 6th Kickstarter, and this is the first time I'm really doing like a comic book series, and it's the first time I'm doing just one issue, like just a floppy. So usually I do full graphic novel, or we've done prose stuff. So this is different. So that's why we were also worried like how people are going to react to this, because usually I think people are expecting me to do like a horror anthology with all these big name people. So now it's like, oh, this is my project. I'm writing it. So then I was worried like will no one show up and say, say, oh, I'm just here for like the anthologies with all the big name people. Now it's just you. So they walk away. But we've done all right. But this is a little different. So I'm happy that people have reacted well to it, and and it's just really the first Kickstarter. So we're probably gonna do at least 3 Kickstarters for this. Possibly.
Cool. You up for the ride, Zach? Three Kickstarters.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Excellent. All right. So if you want to have a look at the project, you can head yourselves over to Kickstarter. That's the link. Yes, I know Kickstarter links are long. Yes, I know it. But for Christ, you know how it works. Go to Kickstarter, type in Omega 11 or Omega 1 here, and it'll come up. Ta-da! Like magic. You can also check out the Monstrous Book website on monstrousbooks.com, which will have links to James's previous work as well as links to the Omega 11 Kickstarter as well. Be sharp, because at the time of recording, we only have that many days left. That many days. 9 days left.
9 days.
9 days. And then after that, you're going to have to go to cons to get the books, probably.
Yeah, for a little while anyway.
For a little while. Cool. Excellent. So, let's see. Right about this time, I normally ask for give me a 30-second pitch on why people should check this book out. We'll go with Zach first on this one. Let James has the right to have the harder job. Zach, so why should people check out this book?
It's Doctor Who meets Ocean's 11. We touch on a lot of characters people are familiar with and give them a new take, a new spin. It's a pretty crazy ride. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a lot of action. It's going to be a lot of sci-fi. So yeah, I think people will enjoy it.
James is now spitting feathers because he was going to say about Doctor Who meets whomever and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. James is now thinking, next time I'm writing a book, I'm writing helicopters. You have to draw helicopters. Get cracking. Do some Airwolf stuff. James, your take, right?
You know,
Yeah, I love Airwolf. What can I say? I'm
Yeah.
that
I
was a
watched
crazy
Showroom,
time.
too.
Yeah, that was that era where we had all those helicopter shows and movies.
Was it Michael John Vincent?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Vincent, and Ernest Borgnine as the grumpy
Yeah.
kick-ass theme tune.
What was the name of the other one?
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder, right?
Yeah, based on the movie with Roy Schneider, which is ironic because in the movie the helicopter he puts the helicopter on the train tracks and in the TV show he's got it back again.
Yeah, Malcolm McDowell was in that, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was a bad guy.
He was also in one of my favorite time travel movies, Time After Time.
Love that movie. What a great call. Love that movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember Nicholas. I can't remember his surname. He went on to direct a couple of Star Trek movies.
Oh.
I can't remember his name. It's gone out of my head. James, why should people be checking out Omega 11?
Well, you should support it because we're already committed to 5 issues. So please support the first issue because we got a whole series to do here. So we're committed and we're gonna do it, but we do need support. But it's a really fun. This is gonna be a really fun series, and it's gonna get probably crazier and crazier as we go. And we're gonna add more characters, and it's going to be a lot of fun once we really get the ball rolling and we start adding all the more members of the 11. And since this is not going to be available till next week, we can then talk about we have more. We're going to be revealing another character, one of the 11, which Zac has some really amazing art for that. So you really got to check that out, guys. I think any day now we're going to be even maybe today it'll be out, and we have the I guess to get the first official member of the Omega 11.
Well, you can tell me who that is after the show then.
Okay,
cool. There you have it, another great show. Zac, thank you for joining us. James, you've been fantastic. We'll have a look at those banners one more time. There's the Kickstarter. Pause it if you have to write it down, or you just look at Kickstarter in search menu. You know how it works. Monstrous Books is also have links there to the book. You'll be able to get there quick. As I say, 9 days. That's all you've got left. Cool. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks
sorry again for being late.
It's all right. It's all right.
In my I couldn't find the link, and also in my 44 years of life, I still haven't figured out daylight savings time.
Yeah, there is. Well, the thing is, I normally say this when I speak to creators over the pond and different time zones. What you got to remember is I'm British, and I know more about time zones than Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I can imagine.
The amount of times I've had to speak to someone from California while speaking to someone in Boston is absolutely, and then working all out. And what time do I need to be there?
Our stupid country's too big, man.
Time zones. All right. On that note, gentlemen, it's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. Everyone else, don't forget to check out the UCPM for all your favorite shows. You saw the trailer for it earlier, the Old Timers Comic Book Show. And if you like things a little bit DC, you've got the Definitive Crusade. And for you Marvel fans, you've got the No Price Podcast, which covers Marvel Comics, Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as throwing in some Disney Plus just for good measure. I'm sure the guys on there will be checking out Bad Batch as it starts its final season. Who knows? Last chance then, guys. Thank you so much for the last shout outs. I really do appreciate it. I know it's getting to the business end of your Kickstarter, so I appreciate all the time for sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I've been your host, Johnny Machine Hughes. And as always, adios.
Visit undercovercapes.com for the latest and greatest podcasts via the Undercover Capes Podcast Network. Also visit our parent company website, comiccrusaders.com, all about comic pop culture.